Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Blue Chelsea TV. Ben Chilwell spoke about Mauricio Pochettino's impact, running, his new role as a leader at Chelsea and why this squad is so exciting heading into the Premier League season. Ben Chilwell hasn't yet been at Chelsea for 3 years but at 26 already finds himself as the third oldest player in Mauricio Pochettino's squad and, outside of players who came through the academy, the second longest serving player at the club behind Kepa Arrizabalaga. His time in West London has been brief but eventful. The England international's tenure has seen Chelsea win the Champions League, UEFA Super Cup and Club World Cup but also go through head coaches quickly with Frank Lampard, Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter and now Mauricio Pochettino all having landed in the Stamford Bridge hot seat. First things first, take a minute or two to hit the subscribe button to support this young channel's growth. Turn on the bell icon not to miss a single update whenever a new video drops on the channel and be at the forefront to get notified. Give me a cumulative 100 likes to boost the video's reach, leave a comment to keep the conversation flowing and finally watch the video till the end to get all the relevant information. With that said and done, let's carry on. The latter's arrival has coincided with a high turnover summer for Chelsea. Following a disappointing 12th-placed finish in the Premier League last season, 13 players have departed and the squad that traveled to the United States had an average age of 21, with 17 players 21 or younger making the trip. Chilwell has offered a rare certainty of someone whose future has not been up for debate. The senior figure of Chelsea's squad extended his contract by a further 2 years to commit to the West London side until 2027. Perhaps a surprising move in many regards given Chelsea's struggles and a number of players with an eye on the exit door. Chilwell was firm in his reasoning. In the US, the defender said, "Since I have come to Chelsea, I have always felt pretty at home. Obviously I won the Champions League in my first season, and after that seeing the reaction that it brought around the club, I want to feel that again with Chelsea, not just in football but with Chelsea. I want to help Chelsea get back to winning titles and winning cups. And I know we'll get there in the near future and I want to be one of the reasons that we get back to that, so that was my reasoning behind it. I am not going to run when things are going badly. I want to be one of the reasons that helps us get back to the best Chelsea." It's still the early stages of a new world for the Blues who are unbeaten so far in pre-season. Nevertheless, Chilwell has received a positive early impression from his new teammates. "What I can say this season from what I have felt this season is that every player who is here is giving 100% and all the young players who have come in are very talented," said the defender. "The manager is working us hard. It is just a good group with a good feel. We're all a very close group which, considering there are probably more new players than we here last season, wasn't very expected. So for it to be this smooth of a transition and to create a unity in the group has meant we are now close. It feels strange as we've only known each other a few weeks, but we're all really enjoying being in each other's company." The intense physical efforts of 2 sessions each day centered around building fitness are making a strong impression on players. Already Chilwell can acknowledge that he is fitter than last summer, with the Blues' capacity to compete regularly criticized by Frank Lampard last term and too many muscle injuries occurring throughout the season. It has been an eye-opening process for the squad. Chilwell said, "The first week was a bit of a shock for everyone. It reminded me of going back to youth team days when we used to call it getting beast. It was pretty similar, especially the first week, but I think we all agreed that it was necessary. Our group needed that. Last season we weren't fit enough, if we're being honest, so every player in the squad agreed that was what we needed, and it wasn't just the first week, it's continued. It will continue for the rest of pre-season. We're being worked hard and we're feeling good for it." Much like Mark Cucurella suggested in North Carolina, Chilwell agrees that difficult sessions have provided a platform for the team to bond quickly. 100%. "We had a funny, well, it wasn't a funny running session, it was the complete opposite, but something that came out of it was quite funny. We did the Gacken test one day and we were meant to do 10 runs, but we got to the 8th and the manager, I still don't know if he was doing a mental trick on us, said we could stop if we wanted. Everyone was on their knees after the 8th one, and he said if everyone completes the next 2, I'll take you all out for dinner. Of course we all finished, and now we're waiting for the dinner. I'm sure it'll come, but we just haven't had time yet. It's little wonder that Chilwell feels a degree of responsibility to help lift the team, and it is something he is relishing, having talked about the situation with Reece James, a player who has put their hat in the ring for the club's captaincy. He said, "There's only a few boys who were here last season, so we feel a responsibility to be the leaders of the group, to help these younger players and lead by example on the pitch more importantly. We want to be the players who can perform week in week out, help players out around the training ground and help the younger players on their path and understand the demands of playing for Chelsea, which is to win. That's a must. There are a lot of players here who are very talented, but we need to also make sure that being at Chelsea means we have to win trophies. But yes, for sure I am excited for the opportunity to be one of the most experienced players. It can only help me to have that pressure, I guess." Chilwell is one of a number of players to don the captain's armband so far this summer before Pochettino picks a permanent leader ahead of Liverpool, and his leadership has been on show. Following the match with Brighton, the Chelsea star was one of the last players off the pitch and put his arm around Mykhailo Mudryk as they departed after an impressive outing from the Ukraine international. "Yeah. With Misha, I just see endless bags of potential that hasn't been fulfilled yet," said Chilwell. "I've told him that. I'm not just saying that. I've told him he hasn't fulfilled that yet for one reason or another. I literally had a conversation with him today after training in the changing room, because he's been on fire the last few days and obviously was on fire in the game against Brighton, and I just said he needs to keep that up now for the whole season. We all see how good he is and he just needs to keep up what he's been doing," he added. Across the table, the conviction in Chilwell's voice is clear. "Personally, I just like to make people feel confident in themselves," he said. "If I can come away from a conversation with one of the players where they feel like they're unbeatable, that's what I try and bring out in people. When I have these conversations with Misha, for example, it's just to make him feel like he's unstoppable so that when he goes into the next game he's full of confidence. And I try to do that with as many people as I can." While just 26, Chilwell has experienced a lot, and it is no surprise that he quickly communicated with both Wesley Fofana and Armando Broja when they suffered their ACL injuries. The fullback has shared his experience with both players, speaking to Broja every morning as he went through his rehabilitation and having offered his ear if they want to know more about the injury or just to talk about the mental struggles that accompany the issue. It's abundantly clear that Chilwell embraces responsibility. So, does he want to be Cesar Azpilicueta's successor? "Yeah. I would love to be captain," he said. "I'm sure you've had that answer off a few of the players. Of course, Chelsea Football Club, I'd love to be captain. I was captain of the youth team at Leicester and thoroughly enjoyed being that. Just having that role really. I think it brings the best out in me and my game. Having a little bit more pressure and trying to help people around me, I think, is one of my strengths. Whether I get it or not, it's not going to take away from my role. I don't think you need an armband to be a leader, so whether I get it or I don't, I'll continue to do what I'm doing." While Chilwell has quickly found his role within Chelsea's new squad, he has also quickly developed a relationship with the new coaching staff, and already finds himself ready to run through walls for Pochettino. The former Spurs boss and his staff are renowned for the interest they take in their players, and already that has went well beyond whether they are ready to put in another sprint. Chilwell explained, "Of course they're working as hard on the pitch, but they're great guys off the pitch. They take a lot of time personally, and all of the staff he's come in with to talk to you. Not even about football things, family life, what you enjoy doing away from football, your favorite TV series, what book you're reading. They take a lot of time to get to know you personally, which makes you feel more comfortable, which makes you feel like you want to go that extra yard, do that extra run, because you feel like there's more of a personal connection. It's not just manager-player, it's more of a personal relationship where you kind of want to work for each other. And that's the way I've found it with him and his staff, and I think a lot of his players will agree with that." Already Chilwell has looked at home and aspects of Pochettino's system. The former cross-country runner has taken to the physical demands of his new boss well, and produced a fine finish against Wrexham. It's perhaps in the following games that the flying fullback has encapsulated the essence of Pochettino's demands, however. The fact that the manager wants to have a role where I am the highest player on the pitch then getting all the way back to help the defense, which is obviously my job as a defender, suits me and, like you said, the way he wants me to play came out in that Brighton game. It was kind of me and Raz as the wingers. Christo was dropping in as a false 9. Connor and Ian were the players playing as those kind of left and right eights and drop into the spaces between the center backs and... I don't want to tell you too much. From what you guys saw, that was pretty much it. It suits me well. I really enjoyed that role I had against Brighton where he wanted me to be on the last line. With Levi there as well, who is left-footed, I know I have confidence when he has the ball that he can clip it over the top. He added, it was the first time me and him played together and he is a great player. I really enjoyed playing with him. It was a good experience. While things appear to be trending in a positive direction for Chelsea, it's difficult to ignore the subject that Chilwell has lost teammates in recent months too. Most notably Mason Mount, one of the key factors in him joining in the first place. Mason was one of my closest friends on the team, said Chilwell. On a personal level, you are going to miss one of your best mates that you spent a lot of time with at the training ground and away from the training ground. I think I said it on my Instagram when he left. He was one of the reasons why I joined the club, so of course it's sad for me personally to see him leave. But I am not going to comment on his reasoning for leaving. I just wish him the best and I am sure in his head he's made the right decision. I am happy for him and hopefully he can go there and do well. That's all for now. If you loved the video, consider hitting that like button, take this video to over 100 likes. Leave down an opinion concerning your thoughts. Stay tuned for more upcoming videos by turning on the bell icon as we deliver these videos on a daily basis. Thanks for watching and your massive support. See you later with another video. Bye bye.